going on, guys? It's Colin here for NextGenTactics, and after a 1-week hiatus, I'm back with episode 3 of my Battlefield 3 strategy series. And today, the name of the game is Rush. Now, Rush is a game type that I've been playing quite a bit as of late. Early on in my Battlefield 3 career, I started out playing a ton of Conquest on the PC, but I do love me a good game of Rush, so I thought I'd talk about that, how I like to approach it, and some tips in order to help you out. And first off, I like to start the round fast and furious. What I've noticed a lot of is that players are very tentative in pushing forward, and when you first start the round, that's the best time to launch a very aggressive attack. And at the start of the round, you definitely don't want to let the defenders get settled in. This is the first base of Dem Van Peak. I'll also cover the second base. But if you let them settle in, you're going to have a very hard time. If you try and trickle forward, they're going to pick you off as you move in. So it's best to try and get started quickly, keep the defenders scrambled. And that's exactly what we do here. We're going to go arm one crate and try and move over quickly and take the other before they have a chance to even regroup and figure out what hit them. I find that that's the best strategy in order to try and take down the initial base. As you'll find later on in this round, however, the second base is not nearly as easy, and we have to mix up our strategy. So that's why I kind of felt that this game, bases 1 and 2, were sort of a good demonstration of the different scenarios you can run into when playing Rush. And in order to keep things simple, I've picked an infantry-heavy map. So we've taken down the A crate, we're moving in for the B crate right now, and basically what we want to do is set up and defend this. I'm running the assault kit, as I said, laying down smoke, trying to cover the sight lines, and when it's safe to do so, I'm picking up my teammates so that we can maintain those strength in numbers and a strong presence in the defender's base. That is the key to Rush mode. If you sit back and leave the MCOMS stations in no man's land, they're going to pick you off. Even if somebody manages to sneak in and arm the crate, chances are you're going to get killed. They're going to easily disarm it. So it's best to try and control that area first. Now, after we take down this first base, the second tip is to make sure you clear the area before you try and move on. A great defensive tactic is to try and linger in the base after the MCOM stations are taken so that you can drain the attackers of as many respawn tickets as possible before they're able to even move up. What you also want to do if you're running the assault kit is pick up as many teammates as possible in the base before moving on. There is a bit of time delay between taking both MCOM stations and before the next area becomes available, so take that time to kill off any defenders that are lingering, pick up your teammates. Right here I was out of ammo on my primary, so I go over and pick up that support kit. I could have simply dropped ammo for myself and grabbed my own kit back, but I didn't want to waste that time in resupplying. So I decide I'm not going to turn down the use of a perfectly good shotgun. I'm just going to get on the move and try and stick together with my squad. I'm going to spot enemies as we move forward, and just kind of keep an eye out for any defenders and where they may be covering. I'm going to take down this one defender, and unfortunately we're going to get picked off. That's just how it sometimes goes. I mean, especially after the first base, the defenders are able to set up more effectively, and it's going to be a much tougher fight from there on out if they have fight in them. You want to try and keep momentum on your side, but sometimes the defenders are going to gain that momentum back. What you want to do is try and probe the defense. Right there we started out with a left-hand rush. After that, we're going to mix it up and try and go right, then left and center. You have to be able to mix up your strategy. There is no one route that's going to work every time. The defenders are going to catch on if you try and do the same thing over and over again, and the round's going to end quickly with a loss on the board for the attacking team. Again, I'm trying to hug the edges of the map, stick with my squad mate. Unfortunately, we're spotted over here. The chances of this being a successful rush are slim to none. The defenders have great sight lines throughout this base. I don't have the ability to lay down smoke because I have that support kit. But what you have to be willing to accept is that in probing the defense, you're going to die. But what you have to remember is if you have assault teammates running with you, picking you up, your deaths don't count against your respawn ticket count. And that's a good thing, and you can keep pushing forward. Now, I am using smoke in this round. Sometimes you want to put smoke where you are. Sometimes you want to put smoke on where the defenders are. But what I did back there was fire a smoke grenade up on the right-hand cliff. Because as much as smoke makes for great cover, it can also be a good distraction tactic. It creates confusion if you're laying smoke left and right, and it gives you maybe a 50-50 chance and improves your odds of actually making the rush that you're intending while the defenders are looking to the other side. You also have to be prepared to deal with frustration. But just pick up as many teammates as possible. Make sure that the area is clear first. there's nothing more frustrating to get revived and then get put right back down again. So, you know, you want to be cautious with those revives. Unlike what I'm going to do right here. My teammate's coming around the corner. I see him get picked off. I should have watched the kill feed to note that that defender was still alive. I'm going to try and pick him off myself after the revive, and I get taken down. And that's going to push my entire team back. So once again, we're going to try and probe that defense one more time and head down the center a little bit too aggressively and die. But it's all good. We're going to live to fight another rush, and now we're going to take the left-hand side. Still running with my squad. You don't want to run too close together. It's best to spread out a little bit, because right there, a defender actually flanked my squad mate, but I was far enough back that I was able to react, kill that defender, take down another one, get the revives. So we still have our strength in numbers, and we're pushing up to these MCOMS stations now, and hopefully this will be our successful rush. And as my squad pushes forward all the way around to the left, I lay back a little bit to try and stay alive in case they aren't successful. I'm going to pick off that defender in the window who's trying to RPG the left-hand side, and I see that we're now making a move in. I'm going to lay down some more smoke to help my teammate move forward, and to create some confusion and distraction for the defenders, and then I'm going to circle around to the right-hand side of these rocks. I am in communication with one teammate on voice chat, and with our another squad mate through text chat, and through that we're able to actually coordinate this strategy and get in around the MCOM stations. And as I mentioned before, you want to own the area around the MCOMs. If you try and attack from behind the MCOMs, from your side of the MCOMs, or defend from your side of the MCOMs, eventually you're going to get pushed back. It's easier to push back defenders if they're behind the crates. They might be able to sit there and pick off a trickle of attackers, but if they get swarmed, then it's very, very difficult unless you set up a perimeter. Own the area around those MCOM stations. Once I arm this crate, I'm going to move forward so that I'm not sitting behind, waiting to get swarmed. I'm going to try and swarm them. And with that strategy, we're able to take down this crate, finish the round. And because we were so low on our tickets, a lot of the defenders actually backed out of this game. The rest of the round was pretty much academic, so I wanted to show these first two bases. I thought that they were a better demonstration of Rush and how I like to play it. That's it for me, guys. Cheers. We'll talk soon.